started, and when he gets here, he gets here.
Look at Cortanus' puppy.
No.
I'm like saying
Okay.
I can't
Alright,
have any,
I'm
so I
sorry.
need a bunch of these.
Adorable.
I might have like 10 of them.
All right. So, let's see who's going to tell us about last session.
Roll the roll.
Ooh. Or Dan.
Ah.
You are the lucky winner. You get to tell us all about what happened last session.
Alright, well, we went to the island, even though everyone told us not to do it.
And you
Screw
found
those
out
guys.
why
We're
everyone told you not to do it.
I don't. I mean, we got there. There was a nice little tree house. It was nice and adorable. Saw some fish. Got confused because they said there was no fish being caught. So I'm like, oh, okay. Went and knocked on a door. Talked to a pretty lady. Pretty lady turned out to be a really, really mean lady, and then turned out to not be a pretty lady. The not pretty lady had some friends that were also not very pretty and not very nice. And they're a nice little coven that want to kill everyone and steal everyone's fish for a plan that we are not of knowing. And yeah, that was pretty much why that there was no fish, and we figured it out, and everyone thought it was a myth. But it was not a myth. It was a coven of hags that literally had it out for everyone. And we killed them.
Yes, you did. And we will pick things back up. You also found in the treehouse, locked in a cage, no longer locked in a cage, what appears to be Renston Wool and Arena Smoothhands, people that you thought you had already met back in town.
Oh yeah.
And they do not appear to know who any of you are. So, you guys really need to come up with a group name so I can say, group name, what would you like to do?
I have one. Don't worry.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, this one's.
Like, I always have bad ideas.
Like really bad?
Or
Or just a little bad? I'm confused.
What would you guys like to do? You've literally just killed the night hag. Like I
Oh.
believe it was Father Fike who got the killing blow.
The turkey,
so-
all three.
got this
All
one.
three
Yep.
killing blows last session.
So
Oh.
you literally just killed her.
I just would like to sit down and lean against the tree and take a breath.
You hear a roll of thunder in the distance, and it comes as a great comfort.
I'm going to.
Brings a
You
little
sense
smile on my face.
approval. You sense approval.
Brings
Is
a
the
little
feeling
on
that
him?
washes
otherwise
over you.
exhausted
The
face.
thunder hits and I fall to my ass and start sobbing.
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 What's the bed look like? Is it disgusting or does it look pretty good?
It looks pretty much. It's not disgusting. It is not nice. It definitely looks like a bed you would find inside of a house that was made out of a giant tree. But it doesn't look like disgusting or filthy. It looks like it's maintained. It's just, it's not like a fancy, canopy bed or anything like that.
Okay. I'm gonna sit on it and then I'm gonna fall backwards and I'm just gonna sit there for a minute. Take a nice long
Nice long what?
I said a long ow.
Oh. Yeah, you lay back. It seems to be a straw mattress. So not like super comfortable, but honestly, your super fancy sleeping bag bedroll is probably more comfortable. But in lieu of how hurt you are, it's still a welcoming comfort. And you hear kind of coming from the far side of the single room, Sao and Noxus, you hear, so is it safe to come out?
Yeah, you're good.
You watch as a slightly older gentleman, human male, comes out from behind the room divider, as well as he is flanked by a halfling female with a stern look on her face. And he says, he walks right up to you, Sao, and Noxus, and says, I am Rinston Wool. I am the head of the Sunrise Lodge in the nearby town of Drenna, and you have done us a great service, sir, and I will be sure to make sure that you are properly appreciated for your actions when we get back to town.
Yeah, we know who you are. We met you.
I'm sorry, I don't believe we actually have met before, sir.
Wait. What? Wait. You're saying you didn't see us today?
I don't meet many
Yesterday.
Dragonborn. I don't meet many Dragonborn, sir. And
Yeah. Now, as of this moment, I kind of sit up and wait a minute, what?
I'm gonna
yeah.
start getting is the robe on the night hag, is it affixed with the hood?
Yeah, it has a hood to it.
All right, I'm gonna take that off her.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna make my way inside, make sure everybody's all right.
Okay.
Make my way around the tree like a normal person
Yeah.
instead of diving through.
Yep. I guess Cortanis has gone over to make sure that Shango is
Check
all
on
right.
Shango and just kind of like kneel before him and kind of shake her head. Forgive me, my lord. 'Twas far too close for comfort.
There's nothing to forgive you. It is me who has let you down.
Shouldst be me in my place. Shouldst never get that difficult. Shouldst never be that bad. 'Tis my duty to keep that from happening.
It should be neither of us. I know I can depend on you, and you should work hard to not have this happen again.
Hey, Sao.
Hey guys, my bad.
Oh, hey!
Wait.
No worries. We literally just started. We just did the recap for last session, and Rinston Wool kind of walked up and introduced himself in his mind for the first time to you and Noxus.
Oh yeah, real good.
And then we were Shango and Cortanis were commiserating the hard fight.
The hardships of the fight.
Um,
Shall we regroup with the others?
Certainly. She'll reach out to help him up.
yep.
I'll take the hand.
Mm-hmm. So you all kind of come back into the front door, except maybe for Erdan, who's out sobbing.
Yeah, I'm still there.
But you guys come back into the house, and you can see Renston Wool shaking the hands of Sao and Noxus.
I narrow my
Oh,
eyes
yes,
to-
here are the rest of your companions. Hello, my name is Renston Wool. I am the head of the Sunrise Lodge of the nearby town of Drenna. And you are all heroes, and as soon as we get back to town, we're going to make sure to throw a banquet in your honor.
That might be a little bit of a problem, sir.
Curiously, you're the second Renston I am to meet.
Really? I've never met another one myself. I've always thought it was a rather uncommon name.
Thou
The second of your kind.
Thou wert not the one we met back in the lodge.
No,
He would have not been able to come here before us.
Apparently,
Excuse me?
Oh, goodness.
There's another you there, sir, that is posing as you if you've never met us, because we've met you.
Well, I can tell you right now, you have not met me before. You are all quite... I mean, no offense. You are brave warriors who've risked your life to save mine and my compatriots. But I can guarantee you're all a very motley crew. I feel I would have remembered meeting you previously.
I'm
I'll
gonna.
take that as a compliment.
I fear
I'm
thou mayst
narrowing-
have been replaced in the meanwhile, sir.
That is
Replaced
correct.
already? I've not been gone that long.
Impersonated is a better word, and I'm gonna throw the hag cloak into Nox's lap, who's sitting on the bed. I'm gonna please clean that. We're going to need that. And I'm gonna go sit. I'm gonna go sit
okay.
on the big lazy boy in the corner.
Okay. You go
I'll,
sit down. It's actually a rather comfortable armchair. And the warmth of the fire right there is actually nice on your skin, helping to dry out your armor a little bit from the rain.
As,
Rain again. Rain again.
It's this. I mean, it's that kind of like. It's that. It's not really rain. It's that. It's so
Mist.
thick and misty
yeah,
that
it's just
the air is just wet. You know.
The air is so wet.
I'm gonna
It's
climb through the
Oh,
window.
yes.
It's the town crying because we found the original lost son.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
climb through the window.
All right. So this is.
So right behind you, Fike, you
Yep.
something
Stop
comes
me.
climbing through the window. He says, ah! But Erdan appears to be climbing
What's
in.
going on? I missed a lot.
Renston Wool comes barging right up to you and grabs your hand and says, "Pleasure to meet you, young man. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done."
We can stop by you not ripping my shoulder off. It's
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. And he
hard
finds
battle. It's okay. Just
he
not,
reaches
not a
over,
fun battle.
grabs a chair from the kitchen table and brings it over for you to sit down next to the fire. Here, take your ease. So,
Thank you so much. And I sit down. Fire. I'm not looking so hot.
As he
Arena,
sits
get
down,
the boy a
Well-
drink, please. And he
Well,
I was gonna say, as he sits down, I pull out one of the regular healing. Say, "Hey, or Dan here," and I'll throw it to him.
No, save that. I don't need that.
I
Save
got-
that.
I got
You
something. I got something.
Okay,
well,
puts it back in
I'm
the
gonna-
bag.
I'm gonna give Erdan 4 points from my land hands pool.
okay.
And
He just kind of like claps you on the shoulder.
Not too hard, I hope.
He kind of not too hard. He just kind of like gives you a reassuring like grasp on your shoulder, and you heal a little bit more. 4 hit points.
Feel a little better. I
Well-
thank him.
While I'm looking
I
around
imagine. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shenko.
while I'm looking around the room, my eyes are gonna glaze over a little bit, and the hair stands off as if I got charged. I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay.
First, looking at Renston, see if I see any sort of magic on him.
You look around. It's a 30-foot radius, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Or 30-foot out. You can see of magic.
Within
All
30
right.
feet of me, yeah.
So the cauldron that's hanging over the fireplace is giving off significant magic aura.
Mhm.
There is another magic aura that's coming from a box on the bookshelf to your right. That one is transmutation. There's another one that's giving off. There's another large glass vial on the shelves to your right that's giving off transmutation magic. And then there is what appears to be, as you look out the window at the night hag, on her person there appears to be a few items that are giving off a magical aura.
Okay. I don't see anything on Renston himself,
No, or Arena.
or
All right. So I think I surmised what happened, and I will be expecting very small apologies from a select few of you. So here this goes, Mr. Wolf. Your brother's passing was an absolute shame, but I believe that possibly one of these creatures had something to do with it.
You don't say.
I do. Now, what one of these creatures also possessed was an ability to change,
I'm
as one of them was a very pretty maiden. Of course, you did not see because of the curtain, but she was quite beautiful and damn you, Cortanus. And was quite charming until we discovered her ruse. So I believe someone is at there impersonating. Um, we go mannerisms, and I just kind of point to him, body being an illusion and such, impersonating you.
Well, this is
So
rather disconcerting.
yes, which is also besmirching your name. I'm going to ask you really quick before I continue. How long have you been here, roughly?
They've had the cover over our cage for the majority of the time, but best I can tell, it could not have been more than day 2 at the most.
Okay, so we arrived within, I think, a day before or the day before that. So that kind of lines up where we met someone who was impersonating you and us coming to get you here. So what we need to do now is get you back to town, but you need to not talk to anyone. You are a very
Well,
charismatic
I'm
and
gonna
charming person.
have to talk to everyone, let them know that they've been bamboozled.
I agree with you, and we will let them know once we've dealt with the bamboozler.
You know
Bamboozle,
who the culprit is?
it's you. It's the person
Well,
pretending to be you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sneak you to the sandbar from the docks, and then you cannot talk to anyone because if they say, "Oh, we saw Rinston Wool hanging out by the docks late last night," that's gonna blow our cover, and then that thing is gonna be gone. And we don't want her, the fate of your brother, to fall upon you, and then this thing take your position again. So you were gonna have to not talk to anybody while we get you to the sandbar, and then deal with the problem. And then that day, we simply swap you in the position of power that this creature has taken, and nobody's any the wiser. We don't bring anybody in a panic or anything like that.
make a persuasion check. You would still be exhausted,
Yep.
but I'm going to give you advantage for that little speech, so it's just a straight roll.
Right.
And I believe that your channel divinity lasts for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it does. So I get
So
a
that would still be
+5.
active, so you still have a +5.
Emissary of Peace, baby. +11.
19. He looks you up and down and says, I have a good sense of these things, and you seem a trustworthy sort. Anyone who's a follower of the Lady of Light can't be too dishonest. So
Katana's just like arches a brow slightly at that.
he says, for the moment, I will go along with your plan, though I would prefer to return to Drenna sooner rather than later.
We will, without doubt. But like I said, simply, it's going to be a process where we need to.
Like the cut of your jib, boy. I say.
I say.
Now, boy.
So it's so wet outside. It smelled like dog from a mile away. Yeah.
Bet I can make you squeal like a piggy.
Daggum.
Okay, that turned
Daggum.
into a different direction, but
Oh yeah. I'm very confident when it comes to certain lexicons.
Anyway,
Gone for 1 minute. What just happened?
but I would also recommend you all look a little worse for wear. Perhaps taking a moment to tend to your battle wounds would be advisable.
I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough time for that, but I like the idea.
Against at least
Well, if what
trying.
you say is correct, this person's been impersonating me for a couple days at least, so perhaps another hour isn't going to.
Actually, guys, do we know if they kept in contact with the ones that are actually back in town?
You do not know.
Oh, that's a really
You do
good
not
question.
even know if they're affiliated technically.
My bad. I was trying to like ask.
No
It's
worries.
certainly still
By
an
the
unknown,
way,
so
I would
Very
say
cool.
yes, you could assist somebody, but with Shango using his detect magic, he found all the magic-y stuff. But you can make an investigation roll in the hut to see if there's anything else worth finding that's a bit more mundane.
No, I was just asking like if there's any more like other evil guys there.
Oh no, there does not appear to be any other baddies around.
Ne'er-do-wells.
Yes, good word, and not a word you get to use enough. Ne'er do
I know,
well.
right? I know,
I
right?
luckily get to use that fairly often.
Really?
Well,
I
at
envy
least
you.
as this character.
Yes. I'm gonna need an increase in your usage of ne'er do well, Cortana.
Got it.
As of immediately,
I am on this. Ne'er-do-wells, curs, cads.
You're gonna have to borrow that book of Shakespearean insults
Yes,
from Sam.
lily-livered.
Thy brawls have interrupted our sport.
No, so I just realized after last week, like, with the motherfucker, like, oh yeah, the first one on the list of one of those things is, I have done thy mother.
Yes.
done my mother.
So, so, what would you guys like to do? Sorry, we got off on a bit of a tangent there.
Oh, I'm sleeping.
Oops.
Oh, you're sleeping in your chair,
Mm-hmm.
taking a little cat nap.
Mm-hmm. It's very warm and I like it.
I take my bedroll out and I put it on the bed, on one part of the bed, as much as if somebody else wants to share it, they can. And I
Okay.
sleep. And I sleep.
So you're sitting down for a long rest?
No, a short one, a short
Oh.
cat nap.
Well, you don't sleep during a short rest. You would like sit down, relax, do some basic first aid to yourself, get out like it's not like you're sleeping. You're just kind of like taking an hour to, maybe drink some water, wrap some bandages around some bruises and cuts, do some basic first aid, and then you can roll hit dice and stuff. But yeah, you don't actually like sleep.
I'll do that.
It'd be a non-voluntary sleep, full rest for me, unless someone wakes me up because I'm like
Okay.
out.
So you guys are taking a
Oh.
short rest, it sounds like?
I'm not. I'm gonna go.
yeah,
I'm
not-
gonna go
not yet.
open that big ass pumpkin in the back.
Open the big ass pumpkin in the back?
Yeah, yeah. You see that giant
Well-
fucking pumpkin on the
Yes.
map? That's what I'm
Yes.
doing.
That's
It
your pumpkin
is
Gonna
now?
bake a pie.
It is full of pumpkin guts.
Regular pumpkin guts?
Yes, regular pumpkin guts.
Oh,
It's just
We're
They're
it's
bloody
just
pumpkin guts.
enormous. You can't get your arms around it to like hug it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna start sectioning it off so it can fit in the bag of holding.
Yeah. You think the residual water may be affecting the growth of the plants here, and how a tree, a willow tree, could grow, have a trunk that big that it could be hollowed out and used as a home. You'll also remember the fish that you saw on the dock were quite enormous for the kind of fish they were.
Right.
Um,
Big ass river trout.
Yep. Is there anything else you wanted to investigate out here, Fike? Or
Oh yeah, that I'm gonna
Shango,
go through that. I'm gonna go through that body.
your magic radar went off, so
Yep, I'm gonna grab the vial off the shelf.
okay. It appears to be a potion of some sort.
Potion of something. Don't recognize what it is though, right?
You do not. The liquid is very thick, and sedimenty and gritty.
Okay.
And when you swirl it, it looks like the consistency of like like a Goldschlager, but instead of like gold flakes in it, it looks like concrete, like dried up, broken concrete.
Like concrete flakes. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And then I want to check there was a box that gave off
Yes.
an order, right? I want
Um,
to check it and see if I can find any sort of traps on it.
traps on it. Make an investigation check.
14.
Full. Um. 14. It does not appear to be trapped. As you examine the box, it appears to be a wooden box. It measures 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep, and weighs about 4 pounds. And it is covered in sailing iconography.
Sailing, you said?
Yeah, like there's images of like sailing boats on water, like sailing across water, engraved in the wooden sides of the boat and on the lid,
Did
on
Erdan
the box. I'm sorry.
already pass out? If not, I'm gonna wave him over. Sorry, Erdan.
Erdan is napping,
Oh, he's napping.
like sitting in a
I-
chair by the fireplace, napping.
Yeah, I decided not to sleep, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not like I
too.
said, it's not you're not sleeping. It's
Yeah.
it's
Brother
a short
Erdan,
rest.
join me for a minute over here, please.
Oh, me? Yeah, sure. He'll walk over. Yeah, what do you need?
Have you seen any like this before? Pointing out the box.
Have I seen anything like it before?
Make an Arcana check.
No.
No. You recognize the iconography on the side as a sailing motif, obviously, right away. It
Mhm.
seems to be some sort. It is a wooden box. It's finely made, and yeah, there's like engravings all over of it of images of like people sailing and sailing boats and ships.
Well, it seems like it's a box with some sailing stuff. Yeah, may have something to do with sail. I don't know. May just have knickknacks in it. I mean, does it? Can you open it? Maybe we can find out more if we open it.
I can, but I would advise against doing so right now in this place.
All
If
right.
it's just to be opened, I can do so outside, my lord, and save thee any sort of trap it could have.
She'll do so in a minute.
Here, you want to put it in the bag?
I'll just grab it myself.
No problem.
I need that bag. We got a big ass pumpkin out here. We need to put in the bag.
That
What?
pumpkin will not fit inside the mouth of the bag.
I'm specifically spending my short rest to carve it in sections so it fits.
Oh.
So pieces will fit into the bag, so we can make pies.
Okay,
Would you want
then yeah, that'll
Towards the
take
window.
you. That would take you about an hour on the size of this thing. So
That's
I
what using my
will
short rest
walk
for.
out the door into the pumpkin patch. I'm like, whoa, big pumpkin.
yeah,
I guess meanwhile, Katanis
Um,
is going to go over to to Renston and try to explain what they were there for in the first place and kind of catch him up.
okay. So you're talking to Renston.
Right.
All right. So we'll say you guys take your short rest for an hour, so you can all roll hit dice.
Yeah, I still have a couple
like-
couple things to go down the list, right? Because I'm yelling out to Fike to look at the hag.
Oh, okay.
Father,
Oh.
what you check? What was the word we were using more?
Yeah, our quarry. Sure, I'll check it. I go up, I turn the body over, and I start rummaging through stuff.
Well, yeah, with Shango's instruction and him telling you that he saw magic-y stuff, you find a twisted and gnarled ivory wand on her. You also find a you find a lustrous black gem that's about the size of your fist, and a bag that's seems to be stitched together from some sort of flesh.
I open up the bag.
You open up the bag.
Yep.
Okay. You open up the bag, and you look inside, and it appears to have just. It appears to be empty. However, when you like hold the bag, it feels like it's full of stuff.
All right. I'm not doing this here, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It
I'm gonna
looks
take the
like
bag.
it's about the size of like a little coin purse.
I'm gonna
And
affix
when you
the.
hold it, it feels like it's full of like sand or something. So it's malleable but still full. But when you open it up, you can put your hand in, and it feels like there's nothing in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna affix the bag to me, and then I'm gonna take the gem and the wand and give it to Noxus to put in the bag of holding, and then a fuckload of pumpkin.
Okay.
I have plans for this.
Say how you
You
also
gotta get
find
back home before midnight, Fike.
Yeah. You got Sayao. You also find you and Shango and searching through the house. You find what appears to be a mishmash of knickknacks. Essentially, it appears to be almost appears to be like a value, like a lost and found. If it only contained like things that were valuable. There's like a couple of like gold-plated pocket watches. There's some assorted coin. Um, a couple of like pins, some earrings, assorted different things of jewelry. Looking it all together, you think in coin there's about in a mix of silver and gold and copper, there's about 350 gold pieces. And then all the knickknacks you think collectively would be worth probably about 500 gold pieces if you found the right buyers for them and stuff. You also get the sense that they might belong to people who may have gone missing due to this coven of hags and stuff they may have taken off of their bodies. But such is the life of an adventurer.
Do we find anything in terms of like notes or anything that would give us a clue as to what they were doing here?
Make an investigation check.
Do I get advantage because Seo's helping me, or is he doing his own?
Sure.
I was supposed to be assisting.
So yeah, sure.
Okay. Yay.
Advantage.
Investigation.
Good thing you had it. 18.
Yep.
You do, as a matter of fact, find what appears to be a large leather-bound tome. And on the cover of that tome, I'd like you to make a religion check. You see a symbol on the cover of the tome.
Religion. 13.
13. You do not recognize the symbol on the cover of the book, unfortunately. But
I know.
Opening
we're
it
all
up.
iconography.
yeah, opening it
Yeah,
up. What languages do you speak?
I got common, celestial, and primordial.
You do not recognize the language, but it appears to be some sort of journal. That's as much as you can make out.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone is standing around me, I'll have them have a look at it if they want to.
Okay.
If not, I'm just gonna also pack it up for later use.
All right. Sayal, what languages do you speak, or do you know?
I think I know Celestial. Let me double check.
Cortanus?
Celestial, Elvish, Old Common.
Old Common.
Do we all have celestial?
Apparently, you all.
I think we do. I think we
Those-
You're the one
do.
who gave me that one, Bill.
Fike.
Common, celestial, and elvish.
Another celestial. Noxus.
Draconic and common.
Draconic and Common. Erdan.
Well, I know Elvish, Common, Primordial, and Sylvan.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of you are able to recognize the language.
Darn.
Fucking dwarvish. It's always fucking dwarvish.
It is not Dwarvish.
Or like
I doubt that the
Infernal.
Night Hag spoke Dwarvish.
Somebody make just a straight. Who's got the highest intelligence? Just make a straight intelligence.
11.
Django.
Probably me, 16.
Django.
Just make a straight intelligence check. 14. You think it's abyssal.
Abyssal.
That makes sense.
Yep.
What fiends?
My guess would have
That
gone
makes
to
sense.
deep speech, but yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll just pocket it for later use for now.
Okay. Totes.
I had one more thing because you mentioned that the cauldron also had a magic aura.
Yes. Make an Arcana check as you investigate the cauldron.
Go investigate that thing.
Cookbook called Double
21.
Toil and Trouble.
From the time you've spent in Whitestone, you recognize what this is. This is on a much smaller scale the process one would go through in turning Whitestone into residuum. However, it is slightly different because they do not have access to Whitestone. They are using, it appears that they are, because you also see a bunch of fish bodies in here. It appears that they are trying to extract the what residuum they can from the fish of the lake to create residuum.
Makes all sense now.
You remember the reason that this would be valuable to a coven of hags probably is residuum can be used to replace otherwise very expensive material components for rituals and spells.
Yep. I'll relate it to anyone who is awake and close by.
That certainly makes sense.
It appears they were after a ritual and ritual power.
I'm gonna make my way back inside.
Okay, you finish loading the bag of holding with all your all your pumpkin.
Yeah, pumpkin time. I love me pumpkin.
Excuse me, I gotta go refill my water. I'll be right back.
You
What was that?
Pumpkin soup.
pumpkins. Pumpkins for days.
Pumpkin
All
top.
of the pumpkins.
Pumpkin empanada.
Is this just gonna turn into like a shrimp thing, like bubblegum shrimp type back and forth, just all the things you can make out of pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Blacken. You can make anything blacken. Blacken cod. Blacken black eyed peas. No, we're not doing that. It's
Good pumpkin.
I can also roll a couple.
Sorry about that. Don't want to get dehydrated. All right, so
15, 20.
you guys, if you haven't already, you guys can roll your hit dice.
Yep, just did so.
That box. Do you need me to go take a look at it? Is it locked? Give it a once over with the old pick.
It did not. When you inspected it for traps, Shango, it did not appear to be locked either.
Oh, yeah.
Now we go open it up outside. So
All right, so you take it outside after your short rest, and you open it up. You open it up.
How the fuck the box while he was carving the pumpkin?
You open it up, and I'm gonna need you to
I assume it's just out.
do nothing because nothing happens. You just open it up.
DM humor.
You open it up, and you you look away, open it up quick, and like flinch, and then you kind of slowly open your eyes and look, and it appears to be an empty box.
Dang.
Interesting. I got
Box.
transmutation.
Secret doors. Secret doors in the secret box.
I jump into the box. I do a Blue's Clues.
Come on, everybody.
However, there is an inscription on the bottom of the inside of the box.
Can I read it?
Yeah, it's in common.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Yeah, I get it. What does it say?
It says there's 3 words, and one on top of the other, and then from top to bottom it just says box, boat, ship.
Ooh!
Ah, that's what I thought it was. I'm going to slowly wade into the water.
Okay.
I'm doing something stupid. You might want to watch.
Wait for me! I want to come do something stupid too.
I'm gonna hold the box
Just
pointed.
right.
I'm gonna hold the box pointed away from me.
What are you doing with the box?
And I'm gonna go.
If thou wouldst pardon me,
Are
master.
Do you set it on the water?
I'm holding it above the water.
Do you set it on the water?
Sure.
You set it on the water and it floats.
Very stupid. Wooden boxes
What's
float
that?
on water.
Ship. I say the word ship.
You say the word ship, and you guys watch as the box unfolds on itself and turns into a 24-foot long ship with a single mast coming up out of it.
That makes sense.
Actually, the the second command word, ship, causes the box to unfold into a ship 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. The ship has a deck, rowing seats, 5 sets of oars, a steering oar, an anchor, a deck cabin, and a mast with a square sail. The ship can hold 15 medium creatures comfortably. Yeah.
I'm gonna touch it again. I'm gonna go. Boat.
You touch it again and say boat, and it starts folding on itself again like a transformer, and it folds into a 10-foot long, 4-foot wide, 2-foot deep boat that has 1 pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lateen sail. That's like triangle shaped sail. And the boat can hold up to 4 medium creatures comfortably.
I'm gonna get out of the water. We're gonna need that. Get us all to shore when making one trip. And I just walk back inside.
I go up to the boat. I'm like, we got a boat! Yes!
Technically, we have a
Super
ship
happy.
as well.
We have a ship.
Wouldst we be able to tow the gentleman that rented us the other boat? Couldst we tow that with the ship?
I
With the
think-
bigger ship, absolutely you could. Yeah, if you had the rope to tie it off.
Yeah, but
Wow.
we're trying to draw as least amount of attention as possible to ourselves so we could sneak
Yeah.
Mr. Wool
Right.
and Miss Smooth Hands into town without detection,
We do.
which
I suppose.
without letting the impersonators knowing. And by the way, I'm going to take the cloak from the hag that Nox, I hope, has cast prestidigitation on,
I haven't gotten a chance yet, but I would have. Yeah.
Over the short rest, you could have done that.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
give that to Mr. Wall and instruct him to put it on. And I'm just going to take a sheet from the bed and give it to
Okay.
his smooth hands and apologize profusely, and then ask her to put that around her shoulders and over her.
She still doesn't say anything. She just kind of nods and acquiesces. You get the sense, as she always has this stern, like business first look on her face. You get the sense that she's a woman of few words, but cares more about acts and action.
So basically, he's like, Julie, do the thing, and she does the thing.
Yeah. She's about getting shit done.
Julie,
Get in the dumpster. Get in the dumpster.
Not
no,
Ashley,
that's
Julie.
Life does need things to live, Sayal. That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least caught him up to speed while before they were doing that, and
mhm.
apologize for, especially
Yeah.
apologizing as he's saying, "I'm gonna do something stupid." Through the
What? Stupid? Yes.
It's like, look, I know we come off like a crew of motley assholes, but we are
Basically.
effective.
We
basically,
are
speaking
effectively-
to one who might be closer to a noble if he's not a noble.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's definitely not like a noble. Like you understand how the local government works. They don't have like a noble,
Right.
but it's he is in a position of power.
He's a businessman. He understands what needs to get
He is
done.
a public servant, sir.
He is a dignitary of the community.
Indeed. An ambassador to the community.
All right,
Even
so
better.
what I believe we should do is we should all the heavy hitters on the boat, and then maybe me and like Dan could take the new ship, and then you guys bring them into port quietly as you can. Sneak them on the sandbar. Me and Dan will be right behind you.
It's that
Well,
change
I say
accents
was.
somehow, Fike.
I say, boy. No, I'm kidding.
It's contagious.
It's not
Southern
contagious.
accent.
It was a character choice I made to comfort him a little bit more, like I was a local boy come rescue.
But you're still making the conscientious choice to talk like that.
He's in the room.
I'm fine, son. You don't need to go on all that trouble on my account. And
Just again, Kratos is apologizing to him.
to be
for
fair,
Fike.
it's a bit offensive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Again,
That's
apologizing.
patronizing him. You don't want to patronize him, right? How does that go? Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Patronize.
Hast thou not learned the first time, Fike?
Guys, Father
I'll
Fight.
still, I'll expect that apology, and I fucking
But-
it's the walkout.
Seeing as how you saved me from a group of a coven of hags, I don't think I'm gonna hold it against you.
It is most appreciated, sir.
Thou thoughts appreciated. And I walk out.
All right. So what is the who's getting on what boats? I'm assuming you guys are leaving.
Do I get any,
Aye, Captain.
before we heading out? Do I get any sort of feeling from this island? Is there anything else on the rest of the island? Like, do I get any sort of vibe, so to say? There could be some sort of local magic sitting around, or like especially rifts and tears in the plains.
Make a nature check. 20. You get the sense with the corrupting magics of this coven no longer influencing the island. Over time, their corrupting influence will fade, and you think that the island will get back to a more natural state and less of a more brambled and twisted thing that it is.
All right. I'll not
Much like Keyleth would tell you about how if a dragon of sufficient age and power would stay in an area, its magical essence would change the land around him. The power and corrupting magics of these hags seems to have been having a similar effect on this island. As to why the nature there was so twisted and brambled and and overgrown.
Okay. I'll nod to myself, looking satisfied, and then head towards the boats with everyone else.
Okay.
Oh, Shango, can I get 2 of those water-breathing potions in case our boat goes topside?
They are in the bag with Seo. Not with Seo, with Nox. Wait,
Oh.
who is the bag of holding?
Noxus.
Nox.
I thought you had them. All right, cool.
Actually,
Thanks.
no. Cortana's had them because couldn't put them in. That's why she had that healing potion before.
Oh, I thought you put them
True.
in.
Very true.
Yeah, he
I
walked
remember
away
that.
too fast for us to put in the bag of holding that time.
Oh, never mind then.
All right. Who's on what boat?
I want to be on a boat that does not have Renston in it.
Are we taking
Okay.
3 boats?
I think we should take the magic and the boat we came in on because we spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah, the boat we came in on. Then there's a boat on the docks that we can take. And then the boat we just found.
There's-
Well, that one looks old as fuck as per the DM.
Yeah.
I don't trust that
I'll-
boat.
I don't
I'll,
trust that boat as far as I can throw it.
Yeah. I'll go on the magic boat thingy with Father Fike if or since Erdan's the one that got that boat, they would probably want to see him. So
All right. So we're splitting up
Good.
Erdan and Noxus. So you got a experienced sailor on each one.
yeah, just so that it makes it easier for everybody, so that we're
Okay.
able to get back in
Let us-
time and stuff.
So it's Fike, Noxus,
Let us
and
join
2 others
Fike
on the magic boat.
Cortanas, let us join Fike and Noxus.
All right. So it's
Uh-huh.
Fike, Noxus, Cortanus, and Shango on the magic boat. Erdan, Seau, Renston, and Arena on the one that you guys rented. All right. If I could get both, I'm imagining you guys are having them helmless because they're the ones that have the experience. If I could get a water vehicles check from Erdan and Noxus.
I have yet to be moved.
Yo, we
Oh.
woke you up.
When?
Like
They woke you up
What's in it?
after the short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we woke you up.
smack.
Didn't hear it. Okay.
So you can roll your hit dice if you hadn't already. Erdan.
All right, Dad.
Okay, cool. How many
You
did
want?
you
You want?
use?
2.
2? Okay.
I used
did you
3.
not heal up all the way?
No.
Oh, okay. So I need land vehicle or water vehicles.
Land
Wisdom.
vehicle. Got it.
No, water vehicles. Wisdom and proficiency.
Take this carriage all the way across the lake.
Because remember, you have to navigate out of the rocky area through the fog.
Plus 3. So 11.
So that would just be proficiency in
Oh,
a
I'm
D20
sorry.
roll?
And wisdom.
12.
And wisdom. Proficiency and
Oh,
wisdom.
proficiency and wisdom. So 3.
Oh dear.
We are doomed.
At least we have the water breathing potions.
Sal, if anyone talks to any of us on the dock, you ask them one question: can they swim? And then you throw them off the dock if their answer is yes. Not let them talk to us.
You got to make it to the dock first, there, friend.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're making it.
Impolite.
So as you guys are leaving the island, who's first, Noxus or Noxus's boat or
No,
Erdan's
I
boat?
think
I'll
Erdan
do the
should go
smallest
first.
you
No.
Why should I go first? I have the people
Yeah,
that
you're
were
right.
trying to hide. What do you-
I just.
we're trying to hide them. Let's put them in plain sight.
Yeah,
Got
we'll
this,
go
guys.
We'll go first.
So
Noxus's
Noxus,
boat
as
will
you're
go first.
steering your new magic boat, you hear across the
I didn't
bottom
do it.
of the boat. You get the sense that if this, luckily this is a magic boat, otherwise you'd be bailing water right now. You get the sense that the hull cannot be harmed by non-magical damage, luckily. However, you did scratch up the paint job
Didst thou
on your
not say
brand.
thou wert a sailor?
It
Interesting
builds
sounds.
character. Wait, what
Sounds
did Cortana say?
makes-
Didst thou not
What'd you
say
say,
thou wert a
Cortana?
sailor?
Yeah. Didn't you say you
That's
were a
why
sailor?
we can't have nice things.
Listen. I only took inventory of stuff. I've never driven a boat. Okay.
Oh my lord!
Give me a
What?
second.
You should
You
get a.
let you help
I've
this
watched other people.
How are you
drive
getting
boats.
proficiency right now?
I've watched people drive
Because he has the
boats,
sailor
okay?
background.
Oh god.
He wasn't the pilot. He was usually working the rigging.
I was a cook.
You never asked what I did. You just said, was I a sailor?
However, Erdan, you too scrape against the same rocks. However, you're able to, watching it happen to Shango right before, or to Noxus right before it happened to you, are able to avoid enough that the ship doesn't take enough damage. It does take some damage, but it doesn't take enough damage for the hull to breach.
It's fine. It's fine. We're good. It's just a rock. It's all okay.
I need you guys each to make one more water vehicles check.
There we go.
18.
21.
And mine's gonna be a natural one. Haha! I jinxed it. Yes.
All right. So you guys, rough start, but you know your old instincts kick back in, and with a breeze, you guys are able to, without breaking a sweat, navigate your way the rest of the way out of the rest of the way out of the rocky areas around the island, out onto back out onto the open lake.
Yeah. See, I told you, it's just like riding a bike.
What is a bike?
Yeah. What is a bike? I second that.
What's a bike? You guys have never had a bike before? Maybe it's a draconian thing.
Tis another type
Listen.
of boat?
No, it's a land vehicle. Got two
So,
wheels. You pedal.
Carriage.
Kind
Two-wheeled
of.
Carriage.
Only two wheels, and you balance. And
It's
you're
practical.
right. I never rode one, but
Why forgo two wheels?
to keep you balanced, you go faster.
Would
I
not
don't
a
know.
horse simply be suitable?
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
horses 10 times better, yes, but
It was more used for traveling in tighter quarters in the city streets of Draconia.
Is this a draconian thing?
yes,
It is a
yes.
draconian thing, yes.
Canon. We're making it canon.
Yes.
It's also canon that you had to take draconian baseball cards and put them in the smoke, so they went.
Yes.
How
And
else
it's
do you do
also
like 'cause
canon.
the tail helps balance like a
Yes.
tricycle?
It's also canon that it's those old timey bicycles where the front wheel is like enormous and the back wheel is like a teeny tiny little.
Draconians and top hats
for
and
the
penguin suits.
tail.
Yes, for the tail, exactly.
Do they just hold
Yep.
on to the small wheel with the tail?
No.
Two separate wheels.
Our tails are not that dexterous.
And it's required to wear a monocle to see properly.
Yes, and you must grow a mustache, otherwise you can't own one.
Monocles.
Madeline,
I
where
don't
is
know
my
that one.
driving monocles. I'm taking the bike to the store.
Gots to be handlebar mustache too.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You guys got about a couple hours of sailing. You should get back to the docks around like 2 in the afternoon or so.
Oh,
Um, because you guys
Hey.
left first thing in the morning, if you remember.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
I forgot when we left. Oh no.
However, the lake seems to be a lot more empty than when you guys were on your way to the island. It appears that the fishermen have all already headed in for the day.
Because there are no fish.
Is there anything you guys would like to be doing on the boats while you guys are sailing in for a couple hours?
Who's down to go fishing?
Thomas might glance over at Fike and think for a moment, didst thou know?
Did I know what?
'Twas an imposter of sorts before.
I didn't know for sure, but if I was in charge of a group of people, like if I was the leader of like you guys, I would always want your best interest at heart. And he did not display that. And I was kind of dissuaded by your words, so I was gonna go track him and follow him back home, but I didn't know for sure, but I had an inkling, and if I wasn't so ashamed of myself, I would have told you sooner.
And that was the full reason that thou didst not tell the truth.
I mean, I told you I lied to you once, and you know we seem to have this conversation a lot, you and I. But
Unfortunately.
I told you I lied to you once, and that is true, and that's it. And my lie was apparent during that fight. So
Yeah, you used a different name.
yeah,
Yes,
I
that is certainly something else.
I'll get into the specifics when we're in better company. On solid land, but everything else is true. But my name is Ventus. I'm an orphan from Amon. I I used to be a lock and keysmith. I see it. I'm not breaking concentration.
Mm-hmm.
I met someone in Western who turned me on to Sarin Ray, and ever since then, Sarin Ray's been looking out for me. And I like to say I'm a thief, but I'm an honest one. If that makes sense.
I get it.
Please elaborate.
Yes, 'tis a bit perplexing. If that was
I have I had a few guys that I ran a job with in Amon. My one and only job, and we came into a large sum of money, and they tried to kill me, and they are currently looking for me because, well, they have no way to get the money because of me. And like I said, I'll explain that later. But the fake name is because I don't want them to find me.
It's understandable.
Are you putting the group at risk by being hunted?
Yeah, Katanas is looking a bit more serious at that, and after looking to Shango.
I mean, they're probably backing him on, maybe Craghammer, but that's why I used the false name to make sure that nobody I was around could be hurt. For the benefit of everybody around me and myself.
Why
And
is
plus
that?
the whole preacher job is quite off-putting.
You've taken it on afterwards?
Taking what on?
The following of Sarenrae.
Yeah, doing my path to
Yeah.
Western, I met someone who is very dear to me, and she pointed me in the right direction.
Quite wise precautions you've taken, I must admit.
Well, I know I'm not as smart as most, but I know how to keep myself alive. I've done this for this long.
That makes you smarter than others.
Only the dead. But I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
not
mean to. I didn't mean to upset anybody or put anybody at risk. But if it was your life on the line, I hope you would have done the same.
I can't not speak for the others, but as I hath said before, 'tis my sole duty to make sure that my lord is safe and stays alive. So, if thou putst that at risk, it shall be dealt with, but so long as my lord places some trust in thee, I shall as well. And she looks over to Shango for how he's reacting to this.
It's a mixed feeling on his face. It's like, sort of, kind of, not 100% sure.
Just gives a nod at that and understanding. Seems thou hath
But-
a bit more work to do with us then. But I can't not allow anything that wouldst put my lord into more harm.
I mean, I understand now, but if you guys decide to make your journey to Whitestone without me, by your choice, with light of new information, I understand, but I hope you don't.
It's not my choice to make.
In the end,
Well,
it is your own choice.
John,
I.
hop in secrets with me real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Da-da-dun!
Man. Secrets.
It begins. Secrets.
All of the secrets.
The D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond, guys.
Bam.
So our own Cortanis has started her own great Kickstarter, which was funded in less than 24 hours.
Okay, 5 hours.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. I guess we're having confession time.
Does Archibald
So
that look
this-
over to Nox?
It's like, are you burning this boat?
No.
Thank you.
I am, however, building a bridge. If that makes sense.
A bridge?
Figure of speech. So,
To
so
where?
Father, I'm about to connect those 2 points. So Father, you know how I joke around about, hey, Father, forgive me for I've sinned. I've lied to you guys too. My name is not really Noxus. If you know anything about Draconia, we're really proud people, and we have really proud names. Names don't really talk down about yourself, My real name, my Draconian name, is Maximus Rex. I changed my name as soon as I left, so the Ravenites wouldn't find me easier.
They are on the search for you?
No, it's
No.
not.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's it's not easy being a refugee, um, especially in the beginning when all of it went down. There were people who, the best way I can put it is, power corrupts, absolutely. And when you give it to people who've been oppressed, you can get drunk pretty easily. So I changed my name and I left Mount, came to Taldore where no one knew me and I didn't know anyone, so I could start new. And then that's when I met Gator and my life really began.
You met Gator?
Yeah, my captain.
Ah.
And one of the other things that I haven't mentioned, there's a reason I know how to drive this boat. I'm not like her, Dan. I mean, I was a sailor, but I wasn't a good one. Not in the fact of skill wise. I'm a very
Oh, I was not mentioning the rocks.
Yeah,
no,
I second the rocks.
no, no. I know it's
A little rusty.
it takes some practice. I haven't done it before, so getting used to it. But lack of a better way to put it, I was a pirate. Keyword was. I'm not a pirate anymore.
What made you change your ways?
My ship got blown up and I died.
Yet you stand before us.
I mean, y'all saw my dream. Something had to have brought me back. At
We have
least
heard
that's what
somewhat about
that's
this.
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking now. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I keep having these weird, fucked up dreams. So something had to have brought me back from the dead, or literally pulled me out. But I don't know what happened.
Making trades. Just gives a nod at that. But she'll look between Noxus and Fike and think a moment. I canst understand why thou wouldst change so much, but I wouldst hope that thou wouldst both keep thy names close. Names aren't good things to have. I doth not know my own, so...
Well, I
Wait.
still think it.
Your name's not Katanas?
Wait a minute. I just caught what?
'Tis a designation of sorts. And she'll take out the two of her regular blades and just kind of show them off. This style is called a kirtana. It's a type of sword. It is generally ceremonial, which is why I was so confused to find. And then she'll pull the Nature's Boon one slightly out of the hilt, but put it back down.
Right. So Shango, is that really your name, or go around the circle and just come up with different names?
Nope. I have been Shango since I was born. I am not the same person since I was born, but I've been called the same.
Okay. Wait, what?
I've been called by the same name since I was born.
Right.
Well, you said you were different when you were.
Right. You said you've not been the same person.
Yes.
Is that a philosophical thing? Like I'm not the man I was yesterday, or is that like your body changed thing?
In a matter of speech, yes, but also no.
Okay.
I have not always had the abilities that I currently display.
Oh, that makes sense.
I believe they were given to me at a later age to help me in the task that I've been burdened with. But if you're looking for names, You shall feel free to call me Crackle, if you so please. Which this name is rather reserved for my inner circle, which it appears needs to include more. If our journey shall continue.
Well, I appreciate the honesty.
Out of character, who's gonna be Pop?
You're muted.
Who's gonna be Snap?
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to ruin.
Cortana never figures out a real name. It's just Snap now.
Yeah.
Wait, can we hear them on the other boat?
Probably not with the wind and everything.
That's why I said I figured we were.
What are you guys talking about on the other boat?
I got this.
You see
I was
4
thinking
people
about it
just
the whole
cry.
time. Wait for the conversation then. I'm gonna be like, while I'm getting the boat to where it needs to be, I'm gonna be like, because like before I was like pretty much almost dead, so I didn't notice who I was looking at. Hey, I said, you look familiar, like I've met you before or something. You from around here?
I feel like I've had this conversation so many times today.
We are dense like fucking rocks.
He goes, it would appear that the version of me that you met in town is an imposter that has taken on my appearance, visage, and vocals.
Wait a minute, that guy's an imposter. I thought that was like a relative of yours.
Sadly, the only relative of mine was brother who recently passed. According to your religious friend there, it was due to that vile hag.
That's the kind of conclusion we came to. So there's an imposter in the town. She looks familiar too. Is there one of her too?
It would appear so.
I slept for too long. Oh, good. Did they come up with a plan?
As far as I know, their plan thus far is to sneak us to the sandbar. Apparently, you have some rooms you can keep us until the city is ready to be told about the imposters.
Ready to be told. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun conversation. Alright, well, it's nice to meet you for a second time, Mr. Not Imposter.
Well, for the first time for some of us, but the pleasure is all mine, young man.
Alright, let me get back to steering this ship not in the rocks, yeah.
That would be appreciated.
Do you have any idea of somebody that might have orchestrated this for you?
Well, I mean, Drinna's normally such a sleepy little town. The most exciting things we usually have to deal with are, the occasional Ravager raid, but for the most part, our city militia is capable of dealing with such things.
So you don't have any like enemies that might have tried to sell you off or something to do this junk to you?
Well, I wouldn't like to think so. I can't imagine I have any enemies. I try to be as kind and upstanding a citizen as I can be at all times.
Yeah, Imposter is kind of mean, just saying.
Well, I look forward to us ending his besmirchment of my good name.
Besmirchment.
And I'm just gonna say disbursement a couple times to myself, looking around like, what?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna look confused because eat until I don't know what that means.
Like trying to get the vocabulary running in my head, like trying to figure that out.
Sorry, I had a 780 SAT verbal.
Oh,
I've had a
fancy.
C in English since I'm like, a toddler.
What's an SAT?
You should have stayed in school, boy.
It's a single.
How'd you get on this
Yelling at each other
boat?
now?
Why do we?
Stop
why do we
screaming
not
across the
all know
lake.
about-
We're trying to be secretive.
Yeah.
How'd you get on my boat?
So,
Actually, there
you
was one thing.
guys are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to say before we finished. I would ask if you guys would be real delicate about telling her, Dan, about my previous job employment.
Your story is not mine to share.
I appreciate that. It's just,
You have both fought hard at our sides, proving
yes,
yourselves.
yeah, I just don't think I can prove myself to him because he seems very narrow-minded about pirates, and I'm a little nervous of what he would do. So I'd appreciate it if we don't say anything to him just yet. Let me at least be the one to say it. Gotta find the right moment.
You're not the only one on the hangsman's noose when it comes to Erdan. I actually I wanted to get him on this boat to tell him personally before I told all of you, because I know he would have one of two reactions. Because we have so much time on here, is that he'd cave my skull in, but he'd accept it. But you stepped up
So
and you
you
stayed on
want?
this boat.
Interesting choice to choose a boat in the middle of a lake to potentially get one's skull caved in.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not be a dick right now, but look at this view.
Spurs actually has that moment of recognition and then just nods.
I mean, just look at this view. If you had to go right now, would you die happy?
No.
Truthfully, no. I've not yet fulfilled my burden.
No. Take all the other stuff away. Take all of everything, all the tasks, all the I have to do tomorrow out of your mind for 1 second and stare
Could.
into the lake and just look out into the sunset. The sun's starting to go down, calmness of the waves, the rivers overlapping each other. This is a beautiful spot to go.
I mean, it is, yeah, but it's not the ocean.
Is Father like a vegan?
Yes.
You know, I'm not a.
He's a pescatarian.
Yeah, I'm a pescatarian.
Just by hearing that sentence alone, this guy sounds like a vegan.
Dude, I'm sorry. Everyone's just like, no, I don't want to die right now. He's just like, it's so beautiful. Just the perfectly describing everything, actually visualizing all this while we're all like covered in blood, ready to get into another fight. He's just like visualizing everything wonderful about the
We're not
world.
getting into another fight.
totally
relax.
vegan.
Cortanis just
Alright.
looks over at Chango and be like, "My lord is all right. I would be fine with that."
I mean, Cortanis, you've asked me multiple times if I have a death wish, and I don't. But if my death meant the betterment for this group, I'd put my life on the line. I think I have. I think I would again. But
you appear to have your soul in the right place.
great intentions, terrible execution, I would say.
That has
That is
certainly been
definitely-
noticed.
That is definitely us in a nutshell. Great intentions, terrible execution.
I
I
apologize.
found a name for our group. We are called Good Intent. I'll work on it.
So you guys are
Workshop.
coming up on the docks. As you get closer, it looks like all of the fishing boats are back for the day. And as you look around at the stalls, they are full of fish.
Hey, what do you know?
The dock is so busy with people there purchasing fish that no one really seems to be paying you any mind. There are dozens of people around.
Well,
That
was
seemed
a-
quite fast for what
yes,
happened.
indeed. A rather speedy recovery.
Let's I'm just gonna kind of like finger signal to Erdan to fucking dock it and use this distraction to get it going.
All right.
Get him inside.
Everybody make stealth checks. I will make stealth checks for Renston and
Oh,
Ariana.
fuck a dick.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Stealth.
The
Plus 10.
group check.
Oh.
The group check.
Thank God. Fucking
Yeah.
Way to
Time
pull through, Father.
Carry us.
Goats are not my thing.
Oh God. I did not think about a stealth check.
Okay, I got this for
Aren't
you, Shango.
you exhausted still, Father?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't take a short rest.
All right.
It's exhaustion. I need a long rest to get rid of it.
Luckily for you guys,
Wait, I thought he rolled that nat 20 and didn't get.
No, he did.
no, he did.
His
That
his
was from
insanity
something
was-
else. That was from
Oh,
something
okay.
else. Yeah. Luckily for you guys, Renston and Ariana rolled really well on their stealth checks.
Way to go,
Hooray.
Red.
Shut up! Don't say his name, goddamn.
So you guys dart through a large group of people that are trying to get their hands on the last of the day's mackerel, and you are
Assassin's
able
Creed.
to, essentially Assassin's Creed, your way through the crowd, up the cobblestone streets, into the sandbar that is just packed, and every table and bar stool is taken, and you can see that in front of every person sitting at a table or a bar stool there is an order of fish and chips. And you guys, everyone's doesn't even take notice to you coming in. They're face down in their food. You use that opportunity to make your way up the stairs and into one of your 3 rooms, to securing away. Apparently, your escapade's not noticed by the public at large at the moment. Well, Renson pipes up and says, "Well, that went rather well, I'd say."
Now, Renson, you're quite light on your feet. I appreciate that. Get in this room.
Yeah, Shango, you trip almost twice and are caught by Cortanus on both occasions. From going face first into the floor.
Shango, I think I could give you a lesson on how to be more stealthy if you would ever like that.
Is there need?
Yes.
I thought I was doing rather well.
It's like you see that double trip, like the
I prefer to confront my problems.
Tis most honorable, my lord.
with your face. Yes, understood.
Face first.
Yeah.
Renston pipes up and says, "Now I must ask you. I didn't want to bring it up until we got back, but there is a woman that has been in my care for a while. My sister-in-law. She goes by the name of Lysana. Has have you seen her? Is she okay? This imposter of mine is
I mean, I saw her the day we spoke to the imposter. That was it. I mean,
where was this?
At the Sun
yesterday, yeah.
Hill Lodge.
Last
Yeah.
night.
At the Sunrise Lodge. So he is been able to fool my fellow lodge members.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The two
And I mean, since
that we
you're
met, 3 that we met.
There
yeah,
was
we met 3.
Three of
Yeah,
them.
we
that
met
came
3. Yeah, one wanted to help. One was telling us that there was something going on on the island, and everybody was eye rolling him.
The pirate, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
The peg leg guy. The peg leg guy. I didn't say the pirate, the peg leg guy. I'm
Master-
singing out loud.
Master Hartman.
Yes,
That guy.
Hugh Hartman.
Hugh Jackman.
Pardon me.
Hartman.
Bill.
Hartman. We get it.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. We met him. We met your imposter, and I was walking out, and she was listening, and she was kind of in a hurry and she didn't really want to talk to me. So she
Do you think she suspected something?
I mean, she was pretty suspicious of me. And that's all I could tell. I mean, she wouldn't really tell me anything. So, like, I'm a Dragonborn, probably never Dragonborn. It's like, why would I trust this guy to say anything? Like, I tried to talk to her, but she didn't really want to talk to me.
She is a kind and gentle soul. Perhaps she didn't tell you anything because she was worried it would put either of you in danger.
Possibly.
Perhaps by telling you something, she will have led on to the imposter that she was onto him.
Possibly as well.
Sounds quite intelligent.
Maybe it would.
She is a marvelous woman.
Maybe it would do us a good service to go visit Lasana and make sure she's okay while you wait here in hiding.
I mean, I think that might... There's nothing we can't not do tomorrow. It might cause some suspicion if we're snooping around his home before we uncover the ruse, but that's just my opinion.
But if these potential imposters were working with the hags of sorts, if they are gone, they may be more suspicious if there is no communication left.
So the sooner the better.
Correct.
Well, hang on a minute. If the fish are back, they already know something's up.
I suppose so.
Because they've been keeping the fish at bay, so like they already know something's up, right? Am I wrong?
Oh, fuck.
So we gotta act now or never to make sure that Lasana is possibly okay. Maybe she's another imposter and we gotta go. Like, either of these things are gonna be gone, or maybe we killed them. I don't know. Maybe those two things that were there, they were them and we killed them. Who knows?
I'm having a really long day. This sounds like it's going to be a really long day.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a really long couple of days then, mate.
You're muted.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Well, it says he's muted. I didn't know he wasn't.
Oh, I heard him.
I guess
I'm not muted. I might be muted on yours because you're in the same room.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why. Sorry. Didn't mean to break the immersion.
That's all right. All right, so do we think we have the strength to take them out right now, or are we just going to have to...
Do we know what they are?
We don't know what you're facing, so...
I'm assuming 2 more of those night hag creatures because they're illusional, but...
It was a really difficult fight this morning.
Then why don't we just try and meet with them again?
But then again, the magic did fade after died, right?
Yeah, but they still hit like fucking, you know.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think it might be good if we went and said, "Hey, we did what we said we were gonna do," and see their reaction, and then we can follow them and then know where to go.
I mean, we could also try and pull the reverse and bring the real guy in and say, "Hey, we caught this imposter."
That's not a bad idea.
I don't want to put...
I'm sorry, it sounds like you want to use me as bait.
Yes, that's not a great idea.
I'm opposed to that.
Perhaps not the best idea.
Last resort.
I think your idea just got vetoed.
Absolute last resort, but we can come up with something better.
I understand this is a brainstorming session, son, but
this seems to be none in between your ears. I say.
That's not gonna happen. It's not a plan we're gonna go through.
All right.
We're not using people as bait.
I appreciate your candor and your restraint.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just reach my hands around Noxus and pull the bag of holding and put it over me. I am going to go get us dessert in a few hours. So while you guys brainstorm, I'm gonna be downstairs. And I walk out of the room.
Okay.
All right. Well.
I think we need to confront them And the first idea, which was pretty good, was be like, hey, we did what you asked, fish it back, you're welcome,
Yeah,
and see the response, knowing what we know.
I think that's probably the best course of action.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it while we're beat up, because taking action late could mean people die.
Yeah.
Master Wool,
Yes.
where wouldst thy sister-in-law be currently at this time of day? Perhaps we could speak with her specifically and perhaps relay a message that only she would understand to know that thou art all right, at least.
Well, she usually would take an evening constitutional through the market for groceries for dinner around this time, but if she had already taken care of that, she would probably be back at the estate in the kitchen. She did so love to help the servants prepare dinner.
Okay, so she'd be either in the. Now, is it your home, or are you just caring for her while she's in her home that she was in?
Well, no. I felt it would probably be too painful for her to remain in the home that she shared with my late brother, so I had her come to stay at my domicile. I had more than enough room, and
Okay.
I figured that the profits from the sale of her old home would serve her better than the property itself.
Okay. Then I guess my next question is, what would you be doing at this time? Because obviously it wants to keep the ruse up.
Say how it would not have been enough for a long rest. Usually in the afternoons I finish up paperwork in my office at the lodge and take care of any lingering business from the day, and then usually walk with Ariana back to the gate to my home and head in for dinner.
We do have means of communicating from a distance. We do not need to seek out Lasana in person.
Oh,
From
well,
a short distance, I should clarify.
well, that solves a problem. Okay,
Would be most useful.
so maybe we should just go to. Well, how close do you need to be?
About a good stone throw away.
So like
120 feet.
You can, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, 120
okay.
feet.
All right, that's not so bad. So I guess it would behoove us to go to your state.
Not bad, young man. Not bad.
I mean, I took classes in Draconian.
Take
Yes.
inspiration there, Maximus.
Hopefully not have to deal with these ne'er-do-wells.
Yes, indubitably.
Just because there's a nice talking man around doesn't mean we all have to use big words, guys. Come on. Relax.
I was the
Dan,
nice talking man before we met this
Simply
guy.
common.
Or Dan, you go ahead and take inspiration as well for sticking to for being you. Sticking to being you.
If you're so concerned for the safety of Lisana, our concern should also extend to other members of the lodge.
Well, I mean,
You,
I watched what you did to those hags. I don't see why we don't just arrest this imposter forthwith.
Well, what if this imposter says you're the imposter?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to get into the conversation of trying to find out who's who and trying to be like trying to convince them that you're the real one.
Yes.
It's gonna be too much of a mess. Shots might be fired.
I doth
Yeah,
not
it's too
believe
messy.
any of us seemeth to have any sort of magics that could uproot an imposter specifically.
I would have no means of showing it to others, rather than just myself.
Precisely.
I'm not a man learned in magic, so
I mean, I don't really have any means of doing that either. I'm good at intimidating people, but that's about it. I can't magically make somebody.
Is there some sort of information that perhaps an impostor would not know that we could relay to others to prove that we have met thee truly? Any sort of sign that thou hast given with other members of the lodge in case something happened to thee?
That's
Well,
a really question.
I could give you my my council members' seal ring, but the hags took it from me when they caged me up.
And guess who has it?
Yes, that would be the case, most certainly.
Here, I got a question.
Can
What is
you-
something that only Rinston would know? That if I were to ask this other Rinston,
But
they wouldn't
also,
know.
your clan members would know also to
Right.
make it.
So that we could help get the imposter out.
'Twas my intent as well.
Like code word possibly, or just, like how does the rhubarb do the strawberries when it rains? I don't know. Something stupid, maybe.
A birthmark somewhere that only certain people know about.
Right,
I would
right.
assume that some
He
sort of
kinda-
physical imposter
He
could...
kind of, his face kind of scrunches up at that, and he says, "Well, there was one Winter's Crest where I may have partaken in Hugh's homemade moonshine a bit much, and may have revealed to him an embarrassing story from my brother and I's childhood."
I don't
And
not
that
wish to intrude,
story
however,
is
it is potentially something that could be used, I suppose.
He said
Story is much more reliable than any physical object.
true.
make a persuasion. One of you can make a persuasion check with advantage because everyone's helping.
I will. Do you guys? Does anybody want to do it?
One of our... Chango? Can you get that?
Who do we think was? I feel like Noctis or
I-
Maximus was leading that conversation.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
I agree.
Maximus, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Thank you.
I would also like
Nice!
to... Didn't even need advantage.
He looks at you and says, he kind of like waves you closer, Noxus.
I'll lean in.
All right, and he whispers in just your ear, only use this if it's absolutely necessary. But he tells you a story about how he and his brother were climbing to the top of the bell tower at the Sunrise Lodge as children, and he slipped, and the seat of his pants got caught on one of the spires, and it stopped him from falling over the side of the roof, but it also basically hung him there, giving him a monstrous wedgie. And his brother was the one who had to help get him down.
And as he tell the story, my face contorts. Like, have you ever seen The Simpsons when have the woodland creatures come in and like they help them get into the mood, and when they actually act, oh gosh, like that's my face. It's like,
Okay. Oh my!
Changing between facial expressions, just kind of watching Noxus a little bit, but not hearing anything.
I look at him and I just go, "You poor soul. I'm so sorry."
He just kind of like covers his hands and says, "I'd rather not talk about it."
Yeah, there's no, and I pat him on the shoulder. There's no need. It happens to the best of us. As I'm looking away doing this, and I'll walk away and kind of just sit and think, did I really just listen to that? All right. Well, we have an indicator one on our side, so that's good. And I think he's definitely the one to have.
Believe me, once I have a chance to address my fellow council members, I assure you they'll be able to recognize who the real Renston Wall is.
So, do you want to do that? Then we walk in first, say we mission, you walk in after, boom.
I don't see why not. The most direct approach is often the best, in my opinion.
Are you prepared to be in the middle of a fight?
I am no coward, sir.
Well, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Well,
Go with that plan.
Hang on. I like your cancer, but sir, can you fight? Can you hold your own? Like if I gave you a sword, would you be able
I
to
may
hold
be
your
a
own?
bit more seasoned than the rest of you whippersnappers, but I can assure you that I can handle a blade with the best of them.
I pull my dagger out of my pouch, and if he takes it and grabs it, I look at him and say, "I expect for you to hand this back to me."
He says, I'm better with a dueler's rapier, but
No, I could give him one of the cutlass.
a cutlass, I think I could handle that.
And
he
I will
takes
put my
it
knife
kind
in
of.
gun.
You see, he takes like a fencing position, like a classic, like classically trained, probably went to private
Cortana's
school,
like-
fencing class, kind of.
Cortanus watches
Yeah.
that and just kind of gives a nod of understanding.
Yeah,
That's
it's
more
very
her style.
Cortana's. Yeah, Cortana's. It's very sword fighting 101. It's. But he can apparently handle a blade at least.
All right. Well,
It
that's
simply
encouraging.
needs to be sure
Ariana
not
doesn't.
to have them swap at any
Ariana
point.
doesn't say. Yeah, Ariana doesn't say anything. But she just from under the makeshift sheet cloak that you produced for her, she pulls out a hand crossbow from somewhere that you guys hadn't seen before.
Whoa, what the hell? Where did that come from?
I look rather
just-
concerned at that.
She just kind of half smiles and then it disappears back into the into the cloak.
You know what? I like you. You're good. You're good people.
She
What do you
just
have?
nods.
A knife!
She's the Kiri of the group.
Though
She just
It is,
she just
yeah.
nods and goes back to her kind of resting stern face.
It
we
is.
should
it is-
all be especially cautious, however, if this imposter knew certain information that Master Woolhere wants to know, then perhaps they have a method of gaining such a thing through telepathy, some sort of mind reading.
Cautious indeed. It is also needed to state that we are operating under a lot of assumptions. We're assuming these imposters are still here. We are extending a great deal of trust to these two people sitting here that we have met but nigh a couple hours ago.
Good point.
Is this true?
Well,
And
I mean,
have just armed them, banking on them backing us up in a potential escalation.
What I'd prefer if they are who they say they are is that we don't get them involved and we try to protect them from any type of fighting.
I mean, they're kind of in a really crappy position right now. If they,
This is true, but still, 6 very seasoned warriors. I'm pretty sure we can.
Father Fike comes back through the door with the bag of holding.
Are you gonna
Oh,
have
hey.
to Noxus?
Thank you. Hey,
Father.
She said, by the way, she has enough to make like several dozen pies.
Oh yeah.
Sell those.
Yeah. No, I
We-
wanted her to help. I was gonna bolster her. I was trying to help bolster her sales due to the lack of having fish. So I brought her pumpkin to make pies.
Yes, she's very appreciative, and says she will save at least 3 of the pies for you and your compatriots.
Thank you. I'm a thief, but an honest one.
Yes. And she also offers you 50% refund for your rooms.
Nope. I want to take a.
All right.
Yeah, because you didn't pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Thief, honest one.
She won't let you leave though without filling up your flask with some of her halfling barrel aged whiskey from her family's stock, aged 15 years.
Oh yes. Yes.
Actually, I'm sorry. The aged 20 years. She says the barrel was made from wood charred from wood of a tree that was charged by the Cinder King himself.
Wow.
Damn.
That's some special stuff right there, man.
Fireball whiskey.
Fireball.
No.
Boom, boom. Fireball. All right. Yep.
You do better than Fireball.
I do. I take it. Thank you
She
very much.
says, drink it in a tight spot. It'll give you the strength of 20 men.
Is that like a literal thing, or is that like
The
a
strength of
is that
20
like
men
She
and
w-
the alcohol
she
tolerance
wings-
of a 13-year-old girl.
She winks at you.
Oh. All right. Thank you. I cap it up and I slowly. I hope you enjoy the pumpkin, and I just leave.
Yeah.
Literal
Put some
thing,
hair
or
on your balls,
like
boy.
I've my balls and hair are in perfect proportion, and I leave.
Fike
Wait,
arrives
what
back in
did I
the
just
room.
say?
Fike arrives back in the room and hands the bag of holding back over to Maximus.
Thank you. So,
We are to ensure Lysana's safety and then confront the lodge.
I mean,
Wait, was that the wife?
yes.
My
Brothers.
brother's widow.
Oh no, I wasn't saying. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the halfling that was hitting on me.
Yeah,
Is that the wife
she,
or the
she was
daughter?
not. She was not hitting on you.
Oh, okay.
See, that's my job, damn it.
That's the
Yeah.
first time Fike's been
She
flustered
is
in a
a
long time.
happily married woman.
I know. That's what I'm
Happily.
saying.
Happily married. So, I agree with Shango.
And we feel this is a pressing matter.
I mean, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. All in favor to go fuck shit up and do this now, say aye.
Did I hit pie?
Let's wait for Shango.
Renston says and Ariana raises her hand.
Well, that's two. Going once.
Looks like we're sleeping on it.
There appears to be an indecision.
Yep. Everybody who does not want to and wait till morning, say nay.
I'm still stuck on pie.
It's a few hours. For pies. Gotta do the whole thing.
Oh, sad day.
Still waiting on that nay.
Could be.
Nay!
Okay, that's one. Any more nays?
Yay.
Yay? Wait, what?
He's saying go now.
Okay, so we got 3 and 1.
You got 4.
Now too.
What's that, Sal?
You go now.
Okay,
You're saying go now?
so that's 5.
I guess I believe that's a majority.
Indeed.
What do you say, Shango?
It is undecided.
It is undecided.
You were the deciding vote! So negative 6.
But we're 5-1 votes right now, so.
Fike's the only one that says no, sleep on it so far. We haven't gotten a vote from Shango or Cortanis.
And she's waiting, just watching Shango.
I care for the safety of the people, but I'm unsure of the best course of confrontation.
Wait, let me just put in this for my 2 copper pieces. We killed 1 hag. They lost all their spells, correct? That means 1 could have fell and 2 could still be alive. And the other one's killed us. So they still would have lost communications.
Destroy 3 of them.
I understand that, but when we killed 1, they lost all their magical abilities from there on out, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
At least that's what it looked like.
I'm saying if we all went, being a bunch of jackasses, we felled 1 was all we found, they would have lost their magic capabilities, which means that we are going to come back tomorrow, and the ruse could still be going on. We know nothing the wiser, and I know, Cortanus, you're going to give me a big eye roll in a second, but I believe deception is the correct way to go about this.
I definitely agree with that.
She's trying really hard not to roll her eyes to prove him right.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
Come on, natural 1 for this.
It probably will be after that.
I'm coming. I'm going back.
She's good.
You can see the stress in your face from fighting it, but you manage to not roll your eyes.
Their stress is so bad that you get angry and glare at him.
Yeah, just basically like.
Piece of shit.
As soon as he gets done saying that, I look at her and I see that she doesn't do it. I'm like, all right, God, you didn't do it.
I propose we ensure the safety of Lasana and the other members of the lodge and see to the state at what's the name of the house again? The lodge's head.
Sunhouse Lodge.
Sunrise Lodge.
Darn it.
At the Sunrise building.
It sounds like a water park.
I know, right?
It is a lake town.
After we're done with it, it's going to be a water park of blood.
Oh, they got dark real quick.
Oh, God.
That escalated
I was thinking like it was
quickly.
going to be happy because everyone's going to have all their fish back and it was going to be great to be a water park, but no, you got to make it weird.
I think we're not going to have a happy moment for a little bit right now.
Yeah, I think
So
I like what Shango said of we should check on Lasana and the other council members and then go about it in the morning, I guess, right? Is that what you...
Depending on the situation at hand.
I like that.
well, the other council members would be at their lodge until the close of business hours. And Renston already told you where Lasana could be.
So let's go find Lasana first.
All right.
They're walking into a den of wolves. Okay.
Den of hags.
When doth we not at this point?
Hey, good intent, poor execution, remember?
So Renston leads you down using his cloak to cover his identity. He and Ariana lead you down to the market, which is down by the docks. Everyone make perception checks.
Hey! Group effort. It's a group effort.
You're still exhausted there, Fike.
Oh, God. I told you this is going to be a fucking long day.
Yep.
You're really starting to have trouble keeping your eyes open.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Cortanus and Erdan, you spot Lasana buying some fresh bread as she walks with a halfling, what looks like a housemaid / cook, who Renston indicates is his essentially that she's the head cook at his estate. She handles like the cleaning and the cooking, and she's a short, plump little halfling woman, and with them is his cook's daughter, and they're picking out groceries and stuff for dinner. They appear to be happy, as the mood down by the market and the docks is jovial with the return of all the fish.
That includes Lasana?
I mean, she's still wearing black, and you know, and you can see that there's that kind of ever-present sadness of someone who's recently lost someone close to them. But she's putting on a brave face for the little girl, and
Adonis will discreetly point them out to the other. Yeah, probably at the same time as Erdan. Yeah.
You do it discreetly, or Dan's like, there they are!
Yeah, that's pretty much how I imagined it in my head. Thank you.
Over there.
Just right there!
I found him!
My cord, there she is.
We shall keep an eye on the head cook for any sudden reactions.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
That too.
Nope.
Help you.
Nope.
It's definitely the imposter, Shango. Definitely.
Definitely the imposter. Right,
Is that canon? Is that what you say to us?
Shango, you are very suspicious of the cook.
Of the cook?
Yes.
All right.
There's something about her.
Something in her, the way
Fishy.
she walks.
Something fishy. You can tell. You've got a sixth sense for these
fishy.
things.
It
I get
smells
it.
very fishy.
Oh, boo! 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 Level 3
there
shatter.
it is.
Would you say that they now have the bare essentials?
The bare necessities.
I believe
That's my
that's the
only
polar
one.
opposite of what he was saying.
The only one. The only one. I promise. The only one. I promise.
All right.
Cortana, Seo, please keep an eye on the cook and be ready to strike if need be.
Certainly, my lord.
And I cast message. I cast message at Lisana.
Okay. What do you say?
Don't be alarmed. Renston is in fear of your safety.
That's 10.
I'm sorry.
You see her face kind of freeze up. She was in the middle of listening to the cook tell a story, and her face just kind of freezes, and she starts looking around.
You got 15 more.
I can discuss again, right?
I'm just gonna walk up to her.
Okay, as you're
This
casting a message again, Shango, you watch as Erdan just
walks
marches right up to her. And as you walk up, Erdan, she kind of turns and looks at you and says, "Who are you?"
Oh, no one important. It's nice to meet you. My name's Dan.
Can I help you, sir?
Rather that I could probably help you.
I believe we're just fine. And the little halfling woman says, "Yeah, we're just fine. We don't need nothing from you, sir.
Well,
I don't know what you're selling."
dang it, you caught me. I'm definitely selling something. As you can see, all the fish just came back, and I'm trying to sell some of my catch.
Oh. Well, the cook pipes up. That depends. What are you peddling?
Peddling? There's no peddling here. I'm just here being an honest.
My lord, perhaps
Seller.
that is the cue to send
I could
another
use a good
message.
stew fish.
How close am I to them?
A good
You're
stew
within
fish.
120 feet.
Okay, but
Perfect.
Perhaps thou couldst explain a bit better.
We could. I could. I didn't say we. That's not canon. I could show you the stew fish that I have, but you'd have to come back to my room in which I have it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that doesn't sound
good.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Hey kid, get in this van. I got
My
cookies
lord,
and candy.
I pray thee, my lord, tell her something truthful before he just
Whoa!
Holy shit!
Who's the best liar in town?
You said persuasion.
Oh, my bad.
I said persuasion, but
Ah, no, there it goes.
That's the same.
Is it
That's the same thing.
is it the same
It's
modifier?
the same modifier.
Yeah, it's the same modifier.
All right, so we'll just I'll let it stand.
Good.
Ooh. Ooh,
God
you're
damn.
you are
She kinda-
you are a good DM, my friend.
She kind of looks at you and gives you that nod, like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get what you're trying to do here." And she says, "Yes," and she kind of says a little bit loudly and obviously, "Yes, I'd love to come back to your room to take a look at your stewfish." And
Perfect. Let's just
she
head
kind of
this
gives you
way.
this little like wink, like, "Yeah."
Is that our new euphemism? Gonna want to look at your stewfish.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's not make this weird, guys. Come on.
You
no,
already
we're definitely
made it
making it
fucking
weird.
weird.
Try to
It's
figure
already
this
weird.
out.
She's gonna give you an orange ruffy.
Making sure we can protect her. Dang.
I'll cast
And
another message
she and the cook and the little girl follow you.
I'll cast another message at her done. What is your planned course of action?
I'm just gonna be like, I'm bringing her back to the room, our rooms that we have. Just follow. Be discreet, please. Thank you.
We'll say that you lead her back over to a side alley where the rest of the party is.
Okay.
And when you get there, Renston kind of steps forward and takes the hood of the cloak you gave him down.
Once
And
they're within 30 feet, I want to cast Detect Magic again. Because I'm
Okay.
just the cook.
You cast Detect Magic.
And I specifically look at the cook and see if I see anything.
The cook has nothing about her that is magic. However, you do see that there is just the slightest little hint of illusion magic on the locket that Lysana wears.
Locket?
Yes.
Oh my
Uh-oh.
goosh.
There's one of them. No, I knew there was gonna be 3.
Oh no. Okay.
Very
Separate.
faint illusion magic.
Oh. Okay. I think I got it, but
But Renston steps forward and takes the hood down and says, "It's me, Lysana." And she says, "Renston? What do you mean, it's you? I just got done seeing you an hour ago."
do I have a discreet?
That was an imposter.
Do you have a discreet way of motioning to Katanas to keep an eye on the two of them?
Sure.
She's already doing that since you said to keep an eye on the cook
Sorry, good.
specifically, and they're all
Yeah.
together, so.
Yeah.
does
But you're
Dan
definitely.
actually say that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought there might have been something off about him.
What's wrong with being direct?
Sometimes it's not always a good
This
But
guy
how
we're
do
with
I
wants to be
know
direct.
that? Well, how do I know though that this is the real Renston?
Bring out the story.
wedgie.
Oh God.
Wait, what?
She just looks at you, Noxus. You see her. She makes that look where she's kind of looking up and to the right, where you can almost see the gears turning in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this moment of light ball going off above her head, where she's like, "Oh yes, Kevin told me all about that story."
And I pat him on the shoulder, kind of like, I'm sorry I had to do that, but I had to do it.
And he just kind of regardless, Lysana, perhaps the best course of action from here, I could take Lysana back to your room with Ariana, and you all could go and confront the imposter. And that way we can protect her and make sure that she is safe.
By leaving her with only you?
Insight check!
I was just
I'm
about to say
inciting
the
the
insight
fuck
check.
Make an insight check.
Bam! Shots fired.
Or Dan, you can make your own insight check if you'd like as well.
I would not.
Shot fired.
Damn.
Cortanus, why don't you join me in secrets?
The
Oh.
shots.
Oh,
I've
my
hit.
turn! My time has come!
All right, so You think that he is just concerned for Lysana's well-being above all else, and if he can keep her and himself away from the danger while you guys deal with the danger, that's what he would prefer to do.
Okay.
Is essentially what you're getting off of him. You're also getting a sense of urgency from him, of wanting to deal with this imposter and silence them.
Yeah. So, but he's fine with staying out of the way and letting us deal with it then.
Yeah,
He's gonna stay-
exactly.
Okay.
He understands. Like he put on a show before, and you get the sense that he was genuine. Early said that he was ready to fight for his city, but like after watching you guys during the hag fight, like he knows that you guys are of a caliber higher than him,
Okay.
and he's more than happy to see to the protection of his brother's widow while you guys deal with a threat that's probably he thinks is probably beyond him.
Okay. And the assistants, the servants and stuff seem to be on the up and up during that.
They all seem to be on the up and up. You're really confused as to why Shango is suspicious of the cook.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
I knew it.
20.
Oh, I called it. I called it.
Then yeah, after that, Kronos like looks over the others, then over to Shango and like gives a nod. It would be possibly for the best in this case if they could remain in the room while we deal with this ourselves.
I'll trust
I
you.
mean, if the imposter is following my schedule, you know where he is, right? Like I said, I would be in my office.
Or
And-
back at the home, but
And
yeah.
where would be Miss Smooth Hands at this time?
Smooth
She
hand.
would be in my office with me, assisting me.
She's
All
an
right.
assistant. So.
She's a council member. Good sir,
You're
not
certain
just
this
my
course of action?
assistant.
I said, oh,
Assistant council
did I?
member.
Did I fuck up?
No, I said it.
No, it was Erdan who said it.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just making sure.
Just making sure I wasn't the one that said.
And the crossbow comes out a little bit and then goes away.
Yeah, yeah,
Just see a little blink, like a.
yeah. She gives you like a look, like, eh.
Cortanus is with you. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
bitch.
All right, then.
If you're certain on this course of action, Cortanus, my trust is with you.
I doth believe it is the best course of action, my lord.
Let's then go collect our reward.
I let us.
All right.
I am most
Um,
curious, however, Lisana. You have a very nice. What was it? Nice lock. Was it a locket that she was
it's a
wearing?
locket, yeah, a silver locket.
Yeah, was she wearing it on a necklace? No, as a.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
on a little silver
A pendant?
chain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
It's,
it visible?
It is a most nice locket you're wearing there. You mind telling me its nature?
It was a gift from my late husband.
Thank you for sharing your story openly, or your
She
sharing
kinda-
your moment openly.
She kind of delicately holds it between a few of her fingers.
Like noticing I assume he has like the spikiness from the detect magic she normally sees. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like off,
Yep.
like I just
Mhm.
charged.
tis
You shall
a
remember,
magic
Emma.
item.
There's a minor enchantment on it.
You shall remember, Emma.
She opens it and turns it around to you, and you can see there's this. As she opens it up, there's this little holographic, like illusory image that pops out of her and her looking slightly younger, and her who you assume is her husband from the family resemblance with Renston, though a man probably in his 20s. and it's an image of them on a small like dinghy type boat out on the lake, and it kind of does that like sort of like every fourth frame animation where it's almost like super blocky, and you can see that the man is kind of standing up, and the boat begins to rock, and then he begins to fall and splash in, and then it replays.
Magic is cool.
I apologize for the intrusion in your personal life. Yet this is a time of great caution.
I understand, she says, and she closes it back up. And
perhaps we should escort them back to the room and then head to the office? Or didst thou wish to go alone? Though she gives a slight...
I think we can move. The fewer of us there are, the more discreetly we can move.
Certainly.
And I would rather get this all done with sooner rather than later. The thought of that charlatan besmirching my good name for a moment longer makes my skin crawl.
Then we shall take care.
We can deal with the cur, Master.
So you guys...
I'm gonna give him my rapier real quick.
He already has a dagger.
Yeah, he has a
No, we
cutlass,
gave him
right?
a cutlass.
Oh, he
we
has
gave him
a
a cutlass.
cutlass.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
His cutlass,
We're good.
okay.
Yeah, he has a cutlass. So you guys part ways. You guys head to the Sunrise Lodge, and the rest of the cook, Lasana, Renston, and Arena head back to the sandbar to your rooms. You arrive at what's probably like 4:00 in the afternoon at the Sunrise Lodge. You can see leaving for the day from the front on the steps where you first met them, Hugh, Ella, and Ranala coming down the stairs. And they kind of see you guys coming up. And Hugh says, "Ah! Back again, are we?"
Yeah, we're all done.
"So you've gone to the island and back, you say?"
The fish have returned, so
"We've noticed."
Yeah, we took
You
care
were
of
right.
the
Yeah,
moon.
Muckman got a case of animal friendship, and they were just sending the fish the other way, just to fuck with you guys.
Yeah.
Make a deception check, sir.
Yeah.
Can I
With disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Try not to...
I lied about something different, so I was gonna say I was kind of helping.
9.
9.
Hugh looks you up and down and says, "Muckmen, you say? Never heard tell of muckmen being a problem around the lake."
I'm personally going to be confused. My character's going to be confused and go, "What? Muckmen? No, they were a coven of hags. What are you talking about? The moon mistress was an actual hag."
With that, Noxus will smack his fist to his forehead as hard as he can.
When you say that, Erdan, you watch Hugh's face begin to shift. His big white stained beard begins to curl up, and you see this railroad of terror that is his smile from behind the beard, and he starts kind of like, "I told you that moon mistress was a hag. I've been telling people for years, and they wouldn't believe
I'm gonna
me."
start pushing him inside. I'm gonna start pushing him inside. Like, get away from the public. I didn't want to say this outside in the public.
Whoa. Why'd you tell us that?
Because every time I've ever told the story, all I get is a bunch of eye rolls from you-know-who, and he points to the other two council members, and he says, "Didn't feel like getting laughed at one more time. But comeuppance has come, and I told you so, ladies." And you can see both the ladies are standing there with their arms crossed, with like a Just like this doesn't prove anything kind of.
My apologies for the interruption, but is Master Wool inside at his office?
Well, aye, he's you know that boy. You never get him to leave before sundown. In his office, he is.
All right, then we need to be very careful.
You have a very
Next.
good day. Hey, we head inside to collect our reward.
You can hear as they're walking away, he's totally like rubbing it in. I told you to. I told you for years it was a that on that island, and you wouldn't believe me. At me, but who's?
I wanted this so bad. Like I wanted this so bad.
You don't think anybody's gonna believe him, do you, Father?
For years, he claims he has known there's a hag. Yet
Yeah,
the
no
fish
one's gonna
only
actually
started-
believe him.
Yet the fish only stopped biting months ago?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
All right.
Yeah, he's been saying this
Feel
for
better.
like.
There is no match in the timelines here.
Okay.
No, but he
Thomas
doesn't
is just
care
going
about that.
forward at the front of the line.
He's a conspiracy theorist that has gotten the slightest little bit of
The Earth's
anecdo-
flat. The Earth's flat.
Yeah.
slightest bit of anecdotal evidence that might swing things his way, and he's grasping onto it with everything he can.
So make Shango a little suspicious.
I'm glad to have. I'm glad.
He's
to
like
give
at the
it to
big
him.
brain part of the meme where like the Moon Mistress is a hag, the Moon Mistress is Saren Ray, the Moon Mistress is
Yeah.
the Moon Mistress is
The moon,
Dunstan.
you're not called Saren Ray, the Moon Mistress. We will have words.
The Moon Mistress is the King of Taldore.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, let's go get our.
Let's collect our reward, guys.
No one say the truth. Okay.
So when we walk in, are there any other people, or is it just? Is it empty?
Well, as you guys come down to the far end of the main hall of the Sunrise Lodge, you find yourself outside of Renston's office.
I presume it's been more than 10 minutes since the market, right?
Yes.
Thomas was up front.
I have one spell left, and I would like to save it. Otherwise, if you guys say so, I will look for them.
I have all my spells. If you would like to use it, you feel free.
I feel like they knew once we set it off. So this is out of character, but they knew. They're like peeking behind the curtain already. So
yeah,
I was either.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I no, don't do it.
I definitely agree.
Don't do it. They don't know we're here.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
that's-
Keep it that way.
As we
Oh,
get close
where's
to the
my
door, Katanas is going to turn back to Erdan. Seem to have a rapport with thee. Wouldst thou like to speak first? To gain
I think that would be a good idea.
Nod to him. She's going to stay by the door, but be
Um,
prepared to like go in.
do you want to go into this loud, or do you want to go into it and thinking that the person back at the room is a liar, and we need to hear their side of the story?
I say
We
Yes,
should
goes
not tell
right.
them if they do not know.
Because they're already suspicious of something because they know the fish are back, obviously.
We're
think
going
we-
to. We dealt. Well, I hope we discussed this before in the room.
Yeah, I was saying like as we're like walking in
I thought we
quietly.
did. And it,
Yeah.
I would imagine you guys talked about this as you were making your way
We
towards.
slayed a single sea hag. If anything is asked, we slayed a single. We slayed a hag, and who was fucking with the lake. That's all we know. Let's go in. I'm gonna
Actually, yeah, as we get closer,
take a
Katanas
box
gonna listen
and
at the door quickly.
Make a perception check.
Do not go in with displaying all the information. We
Yep.
have yet to confirm that
Will
they
you
are
join me
connected.
in secrets, Cortanas?
Don't two in one night. Wow.
Oh my god, all the secrets.
About time.
So from the other side of the door, you listen. You kind of put your ear up to the keyhole and listen, and you can hear in Renston Wool's voice. He appears to be talking to somebody, and he's saying, "The magic's broken. We haven't had contact. Thinking it's time to go. The deal. The deal. I don't know if the deal is worth the risk anymore. And you can hear you can hear drawers opening and closing, footsteps moving around the room on the wooden floor, um, cupboard doors opening and closing. It sounds like someone is either running around gathering things or searching for something while talking to someone, but there's only one. You only hear Renston's voice.
Okay, got it.
No.
So yeah, after a moment, Katanas quickly gets back up, looks to the others. They know something about a deal. Go quickly.
I am going to click in my sheath. I'm going to click the aperture that dispenses venom to my dagger.
Okay. It's
good for a minute.
Yeah, you press your thumb on the jewel that's on the hilt of the dagger, the green
I
emerald.
think it's good for a minute.
And you watch as a blackish green liquid coats the blade.
At that, I'm gonna be like, well, since I have the report, I'm gonna go knocking.
All right, so you knock on the door, and you hear Renston's voice say, "Who's a come calling?"
It's Dan, sir. I believe we talked a day ago about a problem with the fish.
Yes. Well, I'm very busy at the moment. If you could come back at another time.
Katanas is gonna gesture
I'm
to Seo and point towards the door.
I'm sorry, but I'm leaving town soon. I need to talk to you now about the reward. I need
If you want to try in the meanwhile, but
get
sure
this
we can-
going. Need to head down the road.
Seo, are you gonna do something to the door?
Oh,
Oh shit! You want me to break down or what?
I mean,
I think that's. I don't know. Is that what you're trying to tell
That
me
was
to
the
do,
first
Kirtan?
thought, yes. But unless
we should let this
Pike
play
was going to
out.
do it in the meanwhile. But
I mean,
Let
You
it
have a
just let,
Cortanus explained that they already know, and he was talking to somebody about a deal being not worth it, and going through. He's shuffling papers, trying to find things.
All right. What do you?
So,
so you're saying
sorry, what did you say, Seo?
What would it be to break the door down then?
You could make a weapon attack against it, or you could make an athletics check to try and like kick it in.
I'm also standing in front of the door, so you might want to take a little bit of voice and tell me.
yeah.
I'm sure he'd be like, "Hey, they'd let you know what they're doing."
It's a pretty big door.
It's a pretty big door.
It is a big door.
We just went from SWAT to we just
went to SWAT.
from missionaries to SWAT real fast.
We're going to that moment
I'm
where
busy.
that
Open
meme
up!
is where he puts an axe to the door and sticks his head through. It's Johnny. Oh my god.
What am I doing?
We do.
I don't know. You tell me. What are you doing?
It's up to you, man.
Have I been in there before?
Nope.
Yes, we've been in the office.
Okay.
They
No,
came out
you
to
were
see
in
us.
you were in
Oh,
the
it's the other
conference
one.
room.
Right.
Oh, in the conference
You were
room.
not
Then
in
I
his
don't know.
office.
Then I don't know what his office looks like because this
No.
one spell I was going to use doesn't say I need to have sight. Since I've seen the room, I was going to try and cast it, but
You have not seen the room. So what are you guys doing?
Looking at everybody.
Do it.
I'm still having a conversation. I'm waiting.
I know you. I know
we
you
try
are.
the door first,
Yeah.
for the love of God.
Katanas
let
might
him-
pull
let
her
him-
Dan out of the way.
Vote.
Well, no, there's no vote.
No,
you
there's
don't
no
have that
vote.
much. You don't have that much
yeah,
time.
we don't have much
Make
time.
the decision on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna do it? Okay.
Yep,
so
you
he's
did it.
yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll damage for your battle axe.
You hit the station.
I was just expecting him to kick it in, but okay.
Yeah. So you swing your battle axe at the doorknob, and whang! The doorknob just gets knocked completely off, and the door just swings on its hinge about a foot open. You hear come from the other side of the door. Well, I never.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about my reward. Sorry.
Do you push the door open the rest of the way, Erdan?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Katanas
like,
was stepping in
"Listen,
really quickly.
Oh my god, he's just what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna push the door all the rest of the way open.
Okay, so you just push it open, revealing
Rinston.
Renston sitting behind a desk with Arena off to his right, and he appears there are a scattering of papers all over the desk. There are several coin purses that seem to be overflowing with coin on the desk. There are several little chests filled with coin and other valuable materials on the desk. It looks like the scene of someone who was trying to pack up all their valuable shit before they were about to
I'm
leave
gonna
town.
walk right in, right up to the front of the desk, and be like, "Oh, is that my reward?"
Yeah, Katan's is just going quickly that way.
Yeah, I'm flanking him. I'm heading to the by that comfy chair. I'm heading in that direction.
All right. Well, hold on. You don't. You
No,
can get.
sorry.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, how
get
far
to
can-
about. Yeah, you can get to about here.
Fair.
Fike. Yeah. Before you guys can like get just into the room. Before he says, well, of course, this is your reward. I was just getting it ready for you. I was just hoping that you would give me a chance to clean up my office a bit before you came barging in.
Oh, no worries. I don't care about what it looks like. I just want to
Katan's
speak
is
of the
unsheathing
rewards.
both
And
blades.
honestly, what do you think was happening with the fish?
I don't know. That's why we were hoping that you could take care of the problem and find out.
Better question
don't
is,
know?
who art thou?
Well, my name is Ranston Wool, and
Inside
Thy
check.
true
All,
name.
all I'm gonna say is, someone talk about a story.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Rinston.
yes,
What gave you the incredible and embarrassing wedgie?
he looks at you like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
And then I will cast Hunger of Hadar around them.
Oh?
Okay.
Okay.
We are gonna leave things there.
Wow.
This evening.
Fuck!
Ouch.
Cliffhangers! How dare you? Treat me like a
My
customer
God.
watching a TV show.
It's getting late. So.
Yeah, I agree.
But we're gonna leave things there. You about to cast a spell at him. And we will come back next week. Whew. Interesting, guys.
Secrets! Yes!
It's going straight at a wooden entrance.
Yeah.
What was it like? What
Deception is our best course of action.
I know, right?
I was not expecting to knock the door, go after the door. Like I'm like, okay, well, just walk right.
We hear out both sides. We'll talk to him. We see what he's up to. Wham!
Smack! Oh my lord!
Bitch.
No, Katana's heard him talking.
Well, yeah, Cortanis was pretty.
So-
She was pretty like, let's get in there. She's like, let's get in there. I'm pretty
Whoa.
sure there's money around.
Yeah, let's get in there, but not to like let's get in there and cast an elemental rift from some evil forces onto him.
Yeah.
That part she didn't know about, but
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Because I'll probably have you guys. You'll probably. We'll start the next turn with rolling initiative, and we'll see if you are able to get that spell off.
I think we should have Sayao actually use that strength saving to flip the table. I know what you did this summer.
Would you guys like your experience
Yes, please.
points for
Sure.
the session?
Please and thank you.
Fike, you had 9. Cortanis, you also had 9. Erdan and Noxus, you had 8. And Shango and Sao, you had 7.
Math. There it is.
Need 60 to level up, right? When you get to level
Correct.
6.
Yeah, when you get to level 6, you need 60 XP to get to the. No, you need. When you get to level 5.
Dexterity saving throw.
To get from
To
6
get
to
to
7.
6, you
No,
need
to get from
60, right?
6 to 7, it's your level times 10. Yeah. So
Oh yeah, we're 6.
60. Yeah. So you need 60 XP to get to level 7.
Yeah. We're all 6 now, right?
Yeah. You get through the way I do things, you get through the lower level pretty quick, but it starts to slow down here
Yeah, once it gets in the mid.
to the
Once
mid.
we're in the end game.
Dum, dum, dum.
Boo! Boo!
Oh
How
snap!
dare you?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Shazam was pretty freaking awesome.
That's what I've been hearing.
It was so
I've
good.
heard it's good.
So good. It
Even
follows.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
And
Hey,
this is the second time after Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It literally follows the new. Well, almost to a T. There are a couple of different variations from the movie, from the comic, but it follows it so closely, and I loved every moment of it. So I think DC's starting to head in the right direction.
I don't know though, because there was Wonder Woman, which is great, and then they had Aquaman, and
I liked Aquaman.
Yeah, but Shazam was after Aqua.
Yeah, I liked Aquaman.
that's what I'm saying. There was a pause, so kind of a little bit of a dip.
Yeah. But they're starting to go in the right direction, it looks like.
Here, you know what?
True.
Bill,
Yeah.
I can use inspiration to rewind time, right?
No.
Well, I thought I could.
This ain't a
Why
wish
would-
spell.
I was like,
Well, no,
that's-
because I
Those
thought
heist points. We need heist points.
we need what?
Heist
You're,
points.
those- you're,
Heist
you're
points.
thinking of, you're thinking of heist points, but you guys aren't pulling a heist.
Well,
So-
no, I was gonna say.
That's why it should have been elaborate heist, elaborate heist, elaborate heist.
Ice point. Before we messed with the door, we unhooked the hinges.
He unhooked the hinges by slamming it.
Yeah.
Never.
With a
In
hand
all
axe.
my ages.
Yeah,
Rebel X.
but I actually pushed the door all the way open. It actually just fell.
Shango, you do not have detect magic up, right?
No, it's been more than 10 minutes, right? That's what I was asking earlier about.
Yeah,
the 10
no, it
minutes.
had been more than 10 minutes, so you do not have detect magic. So,
Yeah,
all right.
unfortunately.
Cool.
And I
All
believe
right.
sorcerers don't have ritual
Cool
casting, right?
thing.
We can take a guess that there's probably some kind of illusion going on.
Yeah, but it
Well,
was still
I
nice to
mean,
know.
I'm
if
just
you want
hoping
to,
they're not
actually
he-
there.
you know what happens when
I
you
just don't want
assume,
them to
Cortanus.
Hey,
No,
don't make an ass out
don't
of
know
me.
that.
I'm all
Don't
about
know that
making an ass out of me.
vernacular. Don't know that idiom.
Sorcerers don't have ritual casting,
Oh.
right?
Sorcerers do not have ritual casting, no.
Nope.
Yeah. They would have to burn another spell slot.
I am a sorcerer with ritual casting.
Bards,
You fancy.
clerics, paladins don't have ritual casting either. Bards, clerics,
Wizards.
wizards. Well, bards, clerics, and druids can ritual cast, but they have to have the spell prepared. Wizards are the only ones that can ritual cast if it's not prepared, but it's in their book.
Oh, I learned something today.
Yeah, you don't have to have
Mario.
it prepared as a wizard. As long as it's in your book, you can cast it only as a ritual, though. Can you
Yeah.
cast it if it's not prepared?
This is the
question
longest
on-
day of my life.
This is the longest day of Fike's life.
Question then on multi-classing, because Dan was just saying, yeah, if you say you're a sorcerer, cleric, multi-class, like you get ritual casting from the cleric.
You can ritual cast cleric spells,
Yeah,
Yep.
only the spells that you learn through your cleric.
but
Yep.
you have to have them
Right.
prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I just realized something, and if it is truly what I believe it is, Bill, you are a freaking genius, and we are not worthy.
What?
I don't want to ruin it if it is, but my mind's
Stop
starting to
assuming
work.
what things are. Just let it be.
I know. My mind is just working at the moment.
All right. Well, I'll
Mm.
see you guys next week.
Later.
All right.
All right.
Tum, tum.
All right.
Same
Good night,
bat
everyone.
time. Same bat channel.